see. Somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful. Hey guys.
What's good? Welcome back. She said hello.
It went a little nervous.
Welcome back to our podcast. From my future self, I'm Callie.
I'm Serena.
And today we have a very, very
special.
It's me. I'm the special one.
She is. You are special.
I'm Ashley.
Hey.
And also tell them.
Oh, okay. Oh. AKA Lusting for Light. A little LFL moment.
Please. If anyone follows us individually, I feel like you already know who
I know.
she
I feel
is.
like you've seen her pop up.
You've seen her pop up here and there.
Have you seen their photos? Like, have you seen her photos and have you seen her photos?
Like, seriously.
Well, if you've seen her photos, you've seen her. Thank you.
You've seen me. That's me.
And if you have not, go
Get on it.
If you have not, wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. So, we're so excited to have you here. I've always wanted to talk to her on this podcast. Not only because we both are connected to her, but she's also another inspiration that we feel like we just want to pick her brain, talk to her about her journey, and this and that. So, go ahead and talk about yourself. Oh wait, should we talk about how we know her?
Yeah.
Cool.
Should we talk about like the full circle moment?
Maybe. Okay.
I feel like we should start with that.
Okay. we feel this episode is very, very, very special because without her, honestly, without you, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have this podcast.
Facts.
It's
No,
a crazy story. Like it's such a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't realize
how did it
till
even
now.
start?
It started out with...
It was your anniversary, I think.
It was my anniversary of Alopecia Beauty, but it wasn't even Alopecia Beauty yet.
No.
I booked a shoot with Ashley.
Yes.
Because I wanted to rebrand my business, right?
A lot of rebirthing.
A lot of rebirth, a lot of rebrand, and it was coming up my second year of Calafia or Cali B Beauty, and then as soon as like I had this idea to rebrand, I already knew my name. I was like, it's gonna be Calafia Beauty. I want a whole new look.
Perfect.
I wanted to feel like me. I wanted to feel more authentic, and I just wanted to feel beautiful, right? So I booked a shoot with Ate Ashley. I call her Ate because we're Filipino.
It's me. I'm Ate.
And I've known her ever since I was a baby, so I wanted to connect with her because I knew she had a photography business. First, I loved her work. Second, I wanted to support her, and so we reconnected because we haven't connected in a while. Like we reconnected after hella years.
Yes,
and
it's
so
been a while.
It's been a while. So we shot. It went really good, and
It's
then
the rebrand of the century.
Rebrand of the century. Period.
Yes. And it felt like that. It felt like that.
It literally did. And so when we filmed everything, when we shot everything, she gave me my photos. I was just like,
wait,
dude.
I have to like inject.
Go
I have
ahead,
to
go
inject.
ahead,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
like no, it even goes prior to that.
It does.
Because I wanted to do, I had this like vision. I had seen you post some dance videos or whatever where you were just like loving on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, very
water
flowy.
dancer.
Yes, water dancing, and I'm totally a water sign. I'm Cancer. Okay,
Period.
shout out to the zodiacs. Anyway, and so I remember being like, oh, and it was Asian Pacific Islander month.
It was.
Asian Pacific Islander
I
month.
remember seeing that.
And I remember being like, Callie, like,
We need
I need to do. There's this something is going on in my head. It's happening, and I need it to come to life. Like. I need like you. I need your friends. Like I don't even think I knew who I was gonna have on it.
and D. So basically, she saw this video of me and D. Like I think we were promoting
Just
our
moving.
class. We were moving, right? And she's like, I need that. Yes,
I need that. I don't know what I need it for, but I need it, and I need it now.
And she had this proposed a concept to me about like AAPI, and I had this song in mind because it was meant. I think it was by two Filipino artists.
Yes.
And they're also from Sacramento, so I'm just like, dude, we have to do it.
Which is crazy because I've met them.
Yeah.
Shout out
Tree.
to Anna Tree.
Anna Tree.
Yes. I've met them prior, and I even hit them up and was like, we really want to do this for just to get the, I guess, approval from another artist in Sacramento, and they said yes. And from there, it was born. And I remember like that being like just such a big visual concept for me, and it was kind of like the first of my video concepts. Like it was the first like and it was crazy like I don't know, like as creators, like when something starts to flow, it like doesn't stop. And I just remember being there, and like we went to go buy fabric, and the fabrics were so pretty, and it just like it just kept going. And this was like where I guess, like
kindled
our little
relationship.
Yes, and then after that, that's when it was like, wait, we're not done with these fabrics.
I'm
Like,
not
this
done.
is, yes.
I'm not done. We're gonna reuse
Then
this.
she told me about her Calafia beauty
And
like
all just
rebrand,
worked.
and then just like what Calafia meant to her, and she wanted to be this goddess, and she wanted to feel like this goddess, and I was like, bet, we got it.
Do it.
And we talk about it all the time. Like, that shoot like just felt like such magic. Like,
magic.
it was so good, and
crazy.
she brought like the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, it just was so good. Bye bye. It was so
Such a
good. The
vibe.
colors.
It's such a vibe. I haven't seen photos like that of anyone.
She just looked like such a muse. And then I think, like, I say it all the time, but dancers, it's just something about photographing
They know
dancers.
how to
They just
move.
and how to hold their bodies and
Yes.
just I don't know. It's something about it, and it just was so good.
I felt amazing. I felt like I've never really felt that way before.
Oh,
Again,
stop.
I mean, for me, like, I don't really see myself as like beautiful or pretty or anything like that.
Tripping.
I know. Guys, please. Okay, everyone has the insecurity, but like
Right.
as soon as I like stepped into her space and we started shooting and creating and really fulfilling the dreams that I've always had, like I've always wanted to see myself like this, or like always admired shoots or girls that were shot like this. So I'm just like, wow, this vibe encompasses like who I am and like what I want my brand to stand for. And so seeing myself like that and just feeling it and like being shot, I was like, wow, maybe I am like
That
pretty.
girl.
Yeah.
Maybe I am beautiful. Like, it made me feel
Not
that
maybe.
way, and it's hard to get there, but the fact that I just felt it so instantaneously with Ashley, it was amazing. It was an out-of-body experience for sure.
And then you did your giveaway.
Then we did a giveaway.
Then she did the giveaway.
Yeah, then, okay, so after we did the shoot, right, I was just like, I put together this giveaway and I told her about it. She's like, dude, add me on there. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? And she's like, add me on there. I'll be one of the giveaway winners.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bet. Like, we did it. We shot our little
Yes. I
clip, our
remember that.
little clip in Target. Oh my God.
In Target.
In Target.
We
went to
literally
Target.
went to the, she was like, let's just go to the home section. And I was like, what are we going to do? Okay, like, okay, here we are. And we really did
We
it.
sat in the home decor section and we're just like, hey guys, enter our giveaway.
Wait, I don't think I saw that then.
Okay,
we
well,
did.
insert a clip. But
Yes.
we were like, enter our giveaway, you'll win from Calafia Beauty and a free
Yes.
like shoot with Lusting for Light, right?
The Target thing is iconic though. I
Yeah,
love that.
Yes,
It was
it
amazing.
was.
User resources.
So, and I think from there, I had a couple other winners besides Serena, and Serena just so happened to be
Imagine.
a
And I
winner.
never.
She
This was
won.
the
You
first
won. She
giveaway
won.
I've ever won.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what started it all.
Okay, but even
Sorry,
then,
Mom.
I feel like it still was not even like done at that point. Like, because then you like transformed and you were blonde then.
Yeah.
And then
oh
you
my God, I
booked.
felt bad.
You
Okay, so
booked. No, it's okay. Don't feel bad because I think there was a reason.
a
Like,
reason.
this red hair is you.
it's my identity. I'm
Right?
telling everybody right now. I'm getting a retouch tomorrow.
Yes.
It says I don't know when I'll ever
Red
go
is
back.
you. You're
I
red.
don't know when I'll ever go back.
She's
But
red.
basically, I first got the lashes done. That's the first thing I did.
Yes.
And then we reconnected.
We talked about this many
Yeah.
times.
Go to
that
the
was-
first episode,
It
y'all.
was such a nice connection.
Mhm.
And I can't believe we actually, was it the first or second time I got my lashes done?
It's
that
the
we
second
talked-
time.
Okay.
Second time.
Because I got
like,
the
dude,
fill.
yeah,
you
because
know?
I remember she got a fill, and we were like, dude, last time we
Kept
had
chatting.
a really good conversation.
I know. I want to keep talking
I
to
want
you.
to keep talking to you.
know?
I mean, like, wow, like we could be friends.
Stop! I thought we could be friends.
No, we were friends, but
We're
like
not, like, close.
It's like
Yes.
now we're really close.
We could be like
Yeah.
friends.
We could be girls.
Like,
that's my
friends.
goal.
We could
She
be with
literally
it.
was like, I hope I'm invited to like your funeral. That's how long we
Stop!
were friends.
Not the funeral. Like, can't even be the wedding. Like, just
Who says that?
No,
I
like,
hope I'm your lifelong friend.
First of all, I don't even think you get invited to the funeral. I think you just go. Like,
You know what? It was the
she said.
intention,
She
okay?
said in the casket. She said, Serena,
Let
let me just catch you. Let me get the lashes.
I'm here, girl. I'm
Oh my
here for
God.
you. But yeah,
So-
we connected our friendship.
And that started the
That
story.
started the podcast.
everything. And then, you know,
did
I
it.
hit her
Yeah,
up. So I
you
hit her
hit
up.
me
I
up.
actually scheduled with her.
Because she
And I
won
was
the
stressing 'cause I
free
was like,
hour.
wait,
Yeah.
I'm about to get my hair done like the next day.
And you said that it was going to be this complete transformation. Like, you were going to look completely different.
And I didn't want my new real estate photos. Wait, this was even before I left the team.
See, and you
So-
just told me about all that
So it was
recently.
like, yeah. So it was just like, damn, like
Damn.
You were you had a
I
rebirth of the
needed
century
to.
too.
Exactly for the year. So we
Rebrand.
took the photos. I think was it this year right, or
Recently,
before that?
no, was it this year or it
I
was?
don't remember now.
It was either this year or it was the end of last year.
Okay. So then, so we waited a while.
Yes.
And then finally,
But I think that had to happen. For sure. And I always tell everyone, like, what's meant to be will be. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason, right? Mm-hmm. Like, especially because you went completely, like, you went red.
I wasn't even going to go red.
Yes. You didn't even know.
I was going to go some regular blonde, like light hair color.
We had a conversation about red. And I told you, and you're like, oh my god, I love that idea. And then you gave it to your girl to give the 2 options.
Yes. No, I did. It was, oh my god, wait. See? Everything's fake, because you know what? It wasn't even, I didn't even like choose a color yet. I was like, let's do something fun. Let's do like a little Russian roulette on my hair with my hair girl.
I remember that. I feel like I remember this.
And then I chose the red. I closed my eyes, chose the red. Just the domino.
Yes! And like there's 3 of us, and like I just feel like as women in like a entrepreneurship, I don't know, world, like it's crazy to see like how thing, and I guess that's the whole point of like what you guys do, right? Yeah, like the for her and just all the things that you're doing. Shout out. Join our group chat. But no, I guess that's the whole point, right? Like you meet someone. I tell everyone I do mentorships if you're trying to be a photographer.
Let her know.
And I tell everyone that I mentor, like the first thing I ever say is like make one meaningful relationship in your industry or outside of it. Like even like what we have is perfect. A week. Like make one meaningful. I know, make one because you just never know. Like I will say, like so there's someone that I second shoot with all the time. Her name is Lonnie. Shout out to Lonnie at Lonnie's Vision. And she is. I found her like when I first started. Like when I first started, I mean, I had like we got on a. FaceTime. Gosh, that's my age, huh? Like Facebook. Facebook. Like what?
We got on a Facebook.
We got on Facebook. Anyway, so yeah, we got on a FaceTime, and I mean, I had like Violet was barely like she was still like breastfeeding. I remember being like, "Sup, girl?" Like with my boob out and my like totally breastfeeding,
That's real.
momming, and so she was the same, like totally momming and in her world of trying to grow her like photography business. And I remember. Like, she must have been like 200, 300, 400 followers above me. And I was probably at like 20 followers. But let me tell you what, like, I was so proud of my 20 followers.
For sure.
I remember being
I
remember being like, these are 20 followers, but these are 20 people that like love
you
my
started
stuff.
with 0.
Yes. Like, I'm like, these are 20 people. I didn't have to ask Instagram for these people. They just followed me, right? And so I remember feeling so proud of it. And I just hit her up like, how do I do this? Like, how do I start shooting weddings? Like, what do I do? Like, what? And I remember her, she was like, at the time, like, you couldn't just jump on somebody's bandwagon. Like, you couldn't just be like,
oh, I want to shoot with you.
I want to shoot with you. You like, you kind of have to, like, prove yourself, right? Or you have to, nobody wants to, like, drag someone around that they like a wedding is already stressful. And she was like, girl, like I don't really have much, but like you could come, and then I really didn't even go. Like I think whatever happened, like I was working at Kaiser at the time, I wasn't able to do it. And but she was like, you know what, but like I know people that you could second shoot for. And so she plugged me on my first like second shooting job, and I went to that wedding, and I remember being like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then that year I met Lonnie, and we did like exchanged our headshots, and then from there, like like every wedding I get is a wedding that she second shoots, and every wedding she gets is a wedding that I second shoot. And like now that's just like we do our wedding seasons together, and then you like have someone, but that wouldn't have happened had I not networked.
It's
right
crazy
like
one person can just change the trajectory of like your life,
right? And it's like I just think that like you just never know who you're gonna come across that's gonna, like you said, like I honestly like had no idea that I was such an inspiration like to you guys. Like that's huge for me. I'm like, what? Like who am like what? Like like and it's so I think like if there's any advice that I could give like off the bat, like make one meaningful connection. It doesn't even have to be a client. Like just make one meaningful connection a week.
More.
Yes, a week. That's what I try to, now you get kind of lost. Like, I feel like as soon as you start to pick up. Not even run out of people. I feel like I still draw a lot of inspiration, and styles are, at least for photography, styles are always changing. Right now, my big thing is like I'm trying really hard to like get into videography. And so I've kind of like put out feelers, with some people and watched some mentorships, and I've really tried to like dive into that, but I feel like such a loser. Like I feel like such a noob, like in that world.
When you start something new.
And I think that feels good. Like now, like feeling like I'm in my photography bag, like went viral a couple times. Like, you know, like I feel like I'm now in a place where I can take my camera and just do whatever I want with it. But to know that like there's this whole realm of, you know, videography that I still am wanting to like dive into, like makes me feel like zealous again. Is that the word?
Yeah, zealous and like
zealous.
And inspired again.
Inspired, excited, motivated.
You still have ways to grow. Like, you don't just stop
the
there.
all just because you went viral and just because like
and plus you'll probably get better at photography too. Like what if your style changes? You get into
here's the
videography.
thing. Like my husband is such a movie buff. Like he is such a movie buff, and my gosh, I don't even know why I shouldn't even say this because I like don't even want to like I don't even want to admit it, but my husband is such an inspiration. Like he literally I don't even want to admit it, babe, if you're watching. Anyway, sorry. Okay, but like we started, like he started telling me like you need to watch movies like for the cinema. Like you need to really like see how these people are shooting, like, or how these directors shoot, or what it makes you feel like, or what the frames do for you. And look, I remember one time like I showed him like a video that I did, and God, he's my hardest critic, and like heart goes out to him, right? Because he is like my hardest critic, and sometimes I be in my little feelings about it, like ew, he didn't like my stuff, you know. But he pulled up, I think it was like Braveheart or maybe Saving Private Ryan, like some kind of war movie, and I'm like, ew, like I'm doing birth videos, not like war videos. Like I want to watch this. And he was like,
the cinematography in those movies,
right? And he told me, he was like, let's just sit here. He's like, you don't have to talk to me. He's like, let's just sit here, and I just want you to count how many times the frame changes, like how many times the camera angle is changing in 10 seconds. And I'm sitting there like rolling my eyes, like I don't know, 24. Like, you know, I'm just like so annoyed. And then he's like, okay, now go back to your video and see how many angles you got, or how many times you changed the frame. And I'm just like boring video, like what? Right? I'm like two frame video, like, you know. So it's like I feel like I don't know. It's just drawing inspiration from wherever you can. Like it does tend to get hard, but
it does.
I mean, like I said, like opening up new chapters of like where you can draw inspiration from is really cool. And I mean, I like recently have gotten into I hate scary movies.
Me too. Don't do it. Sorry.
Hate
I've seen Midsommar.
Don't tell me. Okay, I'll watch it.
Don't watch it.
Is that the one with the pig?
Don't watch
it.
Don't watch it.
Why is it bad?
It's disturbing.
Did you watch it?
Sorry. No, but I only heard stories from multiple people, and I'm never gonna watch it ever in my life.
Me about to download it tonight.
Is it one of those
weird? Like it is like
Netflix?
It's weird.
You know, okay, I just realized like with the scary movies, I hate scary movies. Like I'm always.
It's not like a jump scare. It's not like ghosts. It's
just
freaking weird. It's cult.
Okay.
Vibes.
No, because I'm the kind of person that like will sit there and Wikipedia it. Like I'll be like, I need to know everything. Like
you can read it first to give you a little preface.
Yes.
But the thing about that movie is it's dark.
Okay.
Right? Like the plot, but it's vibrant.
Yeah.
I like what they did there.
Okay.
They made such a dark thing.
And that's what my
husband.
husband.
They had flowers everywhere, greenery, but it's dark. It's
okay.
dark.
See, and like I feel like that in itself is like kind of poetic, right? Like that sounds a little poetic to me. Okay, I'm about to watch it.
Your discretion.
No, but like okay, so I lately have been into scary movies, even though I like hate scary movies. I think because of the cinematography. Like I don't think I realized and not just that, but like I think for me, what I'm trying to do when I'm doing any kind of like visual content, right? I'm trying to make people feel a way without saying anything or without words or without caption. Like obviously the captions on social media help, but like I always tell the people I'm shooting, like I want you to be able to like feel your photos to the point where like you remember what it smells like. I want you to like smell the image. Like I want you to remember like the way the weather felt that day, or just like I don't know, like I want you to like dang near eat it, like, you know, it's so close, like that you remember that. Like I want to give that to you again and again and again, and I feel like that's what I try to like I guess sell, like that's what I try to like give as my brand. And so scary movies, what they do is that's the whole point, right? Like to make you feel something without and you feel it, like they're the quickest ones where I'm like you know, like and it's like I was like looking through your fingers. And so that's
also the music.
The music,
the lighting.
Dude, as soon as Instagram put the music on the pictures,
it
changed the game.
It changed the game. The mood of everything that you're posting, the music really just, I don't know, it sets the tone.
It sets the tone, it adds something, it makes you feel some type of way. Like like about me again.
No,
I guess that's what we're here, right? Okay. So
Oh.
my first like introduction into the arts was piano. Like was through piano, was through music playing, and I mean, I feel like I didn't really I don't know that I don't want to say I didn't love it. I think I do have a really big love for music, but I think that I feel like I didn't, I guess like because I was forced like by my mom like when I was younger, like I don't think that I like developed my own love for it. I think I felt more like exploited by my Filipino mom, like, you know, look what she could do, like at the parties, you know, yes, and so I don't think that I like, but I do feel like that was where I started, like in terms of like what I, you know, how I would create or how I would express or how, you know, and it's like now pairing that with stills is like it's crazy in my brain, in my artistic brain, it's crazy to me.
I can only imagine.
Yeah,
I know everyone's a different creative and everyone sees the process different, and like, and it's so cool to see your vision for each individual person that you've shot with. Like, obviously, like, the way you're shooting Serena is definitely different from what you're going to shoot with me. What you're going to shoot with someone else's wedding is going to be totally different look.
Oh,
because
for sure.
It's all identity. It's all, like, how they feel, and it's just unique to each person you're working with, and it's not, like, copy and paste, you know? And I think
I actually don't allow, I like, go so far as to like not allow, well, sometimes, because right now in the world of like social media and Pinterest and stuff, people will come to me with like images, like, and it's like, and I want like, this is my shot list, and I'm like, okay, well, like, it's not McDonald's, like, you know, you can't just like pick through the menu, like, this is like, you're gonna show up for me as vulnerable and as real as you can, and then we're gonna go from there. Like, and I try to tell people that like all the time. I mean, of course, if there's like iconic photos that you're trying to like recreate, like, we can do it, but I try to tell people all the time, like, don't get hung up on like who you want to look like or what you want to look like. I think it's more so like, how can we make everyone like see you, like, in your light and in your world. Like, we got into the bathtub.
I just want to comment on my experience.
Okay, yes, let's hear it.
Because going into a photo shoot, and I didn't know you that well yet, and I did see your photos. I knew that I was going to get something good.
Yes.
But it's just I'm a realtor, and I'll picture realtor photos to be realtor photos, right? So I was kind of imagining that in my head. I did give you a couple ideas, but I just love the way it all turned out. It was more like, instead of your average, like, and if you can't see me right now, I'm crossing my arms or like
smiles in front of the house.
The typical realtor photo with the laptop and the notebook, the pen. Yeah, those are great, but I just loved how she directed me in a way where it's like, just move the way you would move.
Just move. I do say a lot of movement.
Walk around the house.
I think I even said, like, okay, you're selling me this house. Like, I want to buy this house. Like, go ahead. Like, show me this house. And she literally was like, okay, so here I come. This is the, you know, like, this is the foyer.
moment, like, staging the items, picking up the books, and then, like, random idea of like getting in the bathtub and just like talking on the phone. Like, it was just so different, and I love how unique it was. It wasn't something that I was ever picturing in my head, but I love that because I am the type of girl that, you know, out of all three of us, I'm probably the less creative one because it's not really part of my job. Like, it's just, or it's like not something I tap into probably as much as you guys, because I'm just dealing with a lot of stuff in real estate. The only times I can be creative is when I do make the content, and there's only so much a realtor can do with their content, right? Like, and a lot of the times realtors, and even me, I'm guilty of it, will go ahead and copy or get inspo from another realtor or other types of content. I mean, I'm really good at like redoing it my own way. I'm good at that, but it's really cool to like find something more you, and it inspired me to be like, okay, why can't I just find something more me, like, not always have to. I mean, when I'm on the go, when I'm like, things are like, I don't have time, of course I'm gonna try to like do something real quick, but it inspired me to just like find myself and like my style and creativity, because it is fun. Like, at the end of the day, I grew up, sorry, I'm not gonna make it about me, but I'm just saying quickly. I grew up like creative. Like, I always like was artistic. I used to write screenplays. I was telling her I used to just do all these different things, and when I got older, it just was like,
everyone
especially
does.
with social media,
we all lose
it's just like everyone's copying each other on social media at this point.
Everything that you see and everything that you create is probably something that you've seen before or have drawn inspo from. Nothing is really original, I feel like. But also, like you said, you're really good at Serenifying it, right?
Yes.
To make it you.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I mean, honestly, you're cute as heck on social media. Like, she shows up on social media and I'm like, I want to learn about this house. Hold on. And I'm like, let me watch.
I want to learn about.
I'm like, I want to know.
Resell a home. I don't even have
Oh
a
my
home.
gosh.
How much am I supposed to like put down? Like, I want to know all about this. Like, I feel like that's like creativity, right?
It
Like to
is.
have
It is.
the viewer like
I don't
care.
want to just post I sold this or I
Yeah.
got this into that's what I wanted to take away from, and just show more personality,
Journey.
because it's like it's boring just go on a realtor's page and just see the same kind of format, same
Yeah.
old pictures,
And I feel like we've all seen it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
I mean, I've
so-
seen it. Same with like photographers. I feel like even with photography, it's like, how do you make yourself look like you're not just the same person as the next, you know? And I think a big thing with social media, at least for me, I find, is that you share about yourself and you share who you are, and so then it makes people feel like, okay, not only do I want like her product, like for you lashes, like, but I want to be
work with the person.
yeah, I want to be her friend.
And that's a big thing in business in general.
It is.
Because you're not also buying the product, but you are also the salesperson behind
Yes,
it.
yes.
Makes an impact.
I think I even saw like, or maybe maybe it was a podcast that you guys did, but like I remember you saying like you sold a house and then realized like this was the last time you were going to see them, and then you cried, you got emotional about it.
Yeah.
Like, but that
Oh,
goes
wow,
to
you
show, yeah, I try to do my research, but
A true fan.
right, but no, like, and I think that goes to show like how much you care about your clients. Like for me, I get so attached. Like if
Especially
I showed you
witnessing the moments that
yes,
you do.
oh my goodness, like births.
Let's get into that.
gosh.
Let's get into that. I want to
Okay.
really talk about your realm, your photography,
Yes.
your
Okay.
style.
Go ahead. Ask away.
And I just want to know it all. So because this is all about you, and I just want to know like how you got started. Like I want
Okay.
to know your start, and then how you got to where you are, how you found your style,
okay.
and your experience through it all. Just like, and we'll get into that. Your water birth
Yes.
ones, like
The
oh my
births.
gosh. So
The
and that's
births.
different.
And the
I don't
weddings,
see that
all those
often.
things.
So
Yes.
start from the
Okay. Yeah.
summertime.
Okay. So from the beginning, so lusting for light came from. Okay, so I used to work at Kaiser, and I just remember like I came back from maternity leave after I had my youngest, Violet. She is 4 now. I had her in December of 2019, and the world shut down like
Right.
March-ish, right, of 2020. And I was supposed to go back to work, like, and I remember being like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to go back to work? Like, and then like the anxiety with, I guess, like the pandemic, and like
Yes.
not really know. My husband was working like big, like long shifts. My daughter was like at school somewhere else. My other daughter was at school somewhere else. Like like I think the separation anxiety, like it just was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like it's something in me like changed. And I think actually for a lot of the world probably
Yeah.
Right.
during COVID, people
yeah.
were probably like, something has to change. Yes.
This has to go.
This has to go. Right. And so I told Kaiser at the time, I said, you know, like I don't want to come back full time. Like I want to come back part time. And you know, with the world and budget cuts and all those things, like they were kind of like, okay, like let's do that.
Okay.
And so I wrote a letter to, you know, my management and everything, and my union at the time, because Kaiser's unionized. Like you can't just go part time. You have to like ask for it.
Yeah.
And then everything was good to go, and I was set to have that schedule, and the union was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Because I think it was such a big deal at the time, like people were cutting like positions, and they were like, no, like you can't, like I think my union was trying to say like, your management can't bully you out of your job, like you need to, right? So I think they were trying to protect me, but I didn't want that, right? So I was like, oh gosh, and I just knew, like at that time, like when I didn't get part-time, I knew in my heart, like this is not where I need to be. Like I need to be with my kids. Like there is a pandemic going on.
Yeah.
So
Like
young
I'm young, my kids need me. Like I just remember like, and then probably honestly also too, like postpartum depression, like with the pandemic
It's a
depression
lot.
for
It's
the
a
world,
lot.
right?
Yes.
I think it was just a big like, whoa, like this is, you just had a baby, the world is closed down, now you're back to healthcare where it's just things are changing every other day. My husband's like in a, you know, facility that you don't know if he's gonna bring COVID home every other day. Like it just was a lot. And back then, like now obviously I'm not scared of it now. Like we're not,
think
you know,
we're past
everybody
it a
is
little
past
bit.
it, I feel like, but like back then it just felt so unknown.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a mother, a new mom of 2, I was like, I don't like this unknown. I don't like being tethered to my job job with an unknown. I don't like not knowing where my kid is. I don't like not being responsible for my kids 100% of the time. Like, I just didn't like it. Like, and little by little, like, I would show up to work and it just like became more and more of a drag. And then one day, actually, Violet turned 1. My littlest turned 1. We had a birthday party for her. COVID. It was like a COVID drive up, you know, like the the drive and go
I remember those.
type of
Whoa.
And like a drive through. But gosh,
Can you believe it just feels like
that's
so long
crazy.
ago, and
yes,
it was kind of long ago. Yeah,
I have these really big marquee letters. It was so cute. It was
Oh,
so
yeah, the
cute. I'll send a
marquee
picture so you can like
letters?
put it here. Yes, it was really big and it said Violet. It was her first birthday, and people came, dropped off gifts, and literally like went.
Bye.
And I was doing my hair. And I put her little hair in pigtails, and I did the same because I'm extra and I matched my kids. And I remember like parting my hair down the middle to like go into like pigtails on both sides, and there was like the biggest bald spot, like just in the middle like of my part. Like there was just like a quarter size circle.
Oh my God.
And I remember being like, we're gonna deal with this later. Like we're gonna. There was a party to have. I still rocked the pigtails, and I just was like,
this is what it is.
And I remember like. I just remember like thinking to myself like, is this because my ponytail was too tight? Like did I like have my bun was too tight? Did I rip my hair out of the shower? Like what did I do?
Yeah.
But my best friend was like, no, like that's a bald spot. And then I was like, okay, pin in that. We're gonna talk about it later. I gotta do this, right? Got through the birthday party and then went to work the next day, and I worked in head and neck surgery, so obviously like the specialty was head and neck. I had one of my doctors like look through my scalp, and there was like 8. Like there was a whole bunch of bald spots that were like literally quarter size, like everywhere on my head. And I just remember like I had so much hair. You
I know.
I had so
she had
much.
More than
It must have been devastating.
It not even devastating. I think at the time I was like, "There's no way."
I
have hair to lose. Like this is fine. Like we're gonna.
My hair can go.
It'll come back.
It'll come back. Or just there was so much hair that I literally was like I could lose half my head of hair and it would be fine. Like I wasn't really like I was like
concerned.
I was concerned in the sense that it was like clearly a health scare. Like if you have that many bald spots and they're literal skin like they're no hair to be seen, obviously there's something wrong. So I think I had like, oh shoot, like do I have a thyroid issue? Do I got cancer? Like what's going on? Like I've never seen this, right? And I tried the steroid shots. I tried it all, and nothing was working. And it's like every day like hair was falling and falling and falling and falling, and I just remember being like more and more depressed, like falling more and more into depression. And I've always been like kind of the person that my friends and family were like, oh, you know, so-and-so's graduating, can you take a picture or take senior portrait, you know, or so-and-so's having a baby, can you do maternity shots? And like I would just do it for like friends and family, like whatever, you know, whatever. And I it's always been something in the back of my mind. And one day I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Like I'm just gonna open. I remember like sitting there thinking like, what's my name gonna be? And so Lusting for Light comes from obviously like I was in a really dark place, like dark. And I remember being like telling my husband like I need something like positive to obsess over versus like every single bald spot, like and so that lust for light, like that's where that comes from. And you know, so throughout that first year I continued to lose my hair. I have a highlight on my Instagram where it highlights like, and you can see like I still had my long hair and I just would rock it. Like I had like a bald spot here, it just was a bald spot there, like, and I tried so hard to show up like that, like to just show up and show up and show up. And I remember like telling my clients like, look, like you might see me this way, like, but in exchange for like your vulnerability, like I'll continue to show up this way. And I think it held me accountable for like what I perceived as like my like ugly, right? Because we all have insecurities.
Yes,
we talked about it.
Yes.
You said you don't feel beautiful, right?
Yes,
it's like
it's I
think it is a woman thing, but I think for me, I put so much beauty in my hair. Like I put so much of my vanity. Like if I was anything, I was the girl with the hair. Like if there was anything else, it was my hair.
It's like there's your identity sometimes.
My identity, and it's like it was long, like down to my butt and thick, and just like the kind of hair that was just, man, it was so much hair and
bundles.
And I remember once that started to go, I my insecurities, like I didn't think I ever had an insecurity. Like I didn't think I had an insecurity until I had to see my face with no hair. Like I was like, wait, and I'm talking about no eyebrows, no eyelashes, no hair, like nothing.
Oh wow.
And just trying to grow from that and like move past that, like. And then one day, like a year later, I decided, you know, I'm gonna get my eyebrows like tattooed or, you know, microbladed, and I, you know, met this girl. Her name was Lucille. Love her. We should plug her here. Yes, Lucille Browse. Is that your friend?
Her brother is my homeboy.
Yeah, we all went to high school together.
Shout out to Lucille. Plug her here.
Yeah.
I
need to get mine done with her.
I laid in her chair and just like sobbed. Like I cried, and she cried like with me. Like she sat there and she was like, "Girl, don't even worry. Like they're about to be like twins, not sisters." Like, and I remember being like, and then I did it, and she's like, "Ashley, like I feel like you need to like get your nose pierced. Like I feel like you need to get your nose pierced, and I feel like you need to shave your head. Like you need to just do it. Like you need to do." And I remember like leaving there, and again, it's like highlighted in my Instagram, like on the little blurb, but like just like looking at myself. I did a video and I just like looked at myself and I just like started crying. Like I was like, I don't think I like realized how special it would be to see my face like with eyebrows again. And Lucille really like sat there and cried with me. Yes, she was, and then I obviously like made the appointment to like chop all my hair off, which my cousin did for me. We'll plug her again, Hair by Bridget. And she chopped my hair off, and she said she was super nervous too, just because it was like I was so like fragile. I feel like at the time. I got my nose pierced. My husband came with me. That was also a female piercer. Like I just feel like everything was like in line to just like a rebirth. And then ever since I cut my hair, like this is all new. Like this is all brand new hair.
By the way.
I just cut it. Like it was a little longer, but I just cut it again, like just to keep the shape, because like I said, like I went from like pixie cut, like no hair, to like, you know, then it was like awkwardly shaped, and then I've never had short hair woes, but you know, like going through trying to reshape and regrow and whatnot, like I've never had this hair before, but like I'm just like grateful for every strand. So yeah, that's how Lusting for Light was born, and then that's like what's brought me like to today. I think alopecia was really truly like a really big driving force. Like I remember even telling my husband like at the dinner table when he was saying like, well, would you photograph like weddings? Would you photograph this? Would you photograph that? Like, what would you photograph? Like, what are you thinking, you know? And I remember telling him, like, I feel like if I could, like, photograph people's, like, most vulnerable moments, like, even if they're just, like, crying with me, just to say, like, after the fact, like, there's beauty in your moments, like, even when they're hard, like, there's beauty in your moments, you know? And it's
I'm
like,
cry.
It's okay.
This is the most beautiful thing
ever.
It?
And it's like, okay, and you'll even see Kelly! Stop! And
Take a picture.
I know.
That's such a Filipino thing to say.
Take a picture! No, and like, I can even go back and show you guys, like, the day that I cut my hair, like, Lonnie, again, was with me, and she photographed me before my hair was cut, and I was, like, completely naked. Like, completely naked, like, no bra, no panties, like, completely naked. 7 strands of hairs left, like, just in a bathtub, and I wrote a whole thing about it, but yeah, that was, like, the last time I ever was photographed for my 7 pieces of hair, and I even said, like, when I cut it, like, I even told my little hairs, I was like, thanks for hanging on, like, that you served me well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. There's so much energy in our hair, I think, as women. When we're sad, we cut our hair.
There's memories.
When we go through a breakup,
we change our hair.
New chapter.
And I think, like, to realize, like, or not even to realize, but to go through a phase where, like, I just had no hair. Like, I was like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do, you know? And it was crazy. And but yeah, I told my husband, like, you know, like, if I could photograph grief, if I could photograph just anything vulnerable and just hand, like, that's what would fuel me, you know. And it's like, I think my work shows that.
Absolutely.
One time I even photographed a grieving wife. Her husband passed, and her and her son, like, they showed up and we did a grief session, and it was really beautiful. I mean, like, but like moments like that where you just don't you don't know what you're gonna get, and you just again you hand it to them, and you're like, you know, there's beauty here, you know, and it's like life continues to life. Yes. And it's okay, like it's okay for life to continue to life, like it's okay for it to be hard, you know. And it's like I did another one that comes to the top of my head was a birth. I did a birth, and my God, it didn't go well. It didn't go well, and she was screaming. It was a home birth. She was screaming, and she wanted the photo that I always ask, do you want the baby crowning, which means like baby coming out, or do you want the shot from behind? Like I will go behind your shoulders so that I see the baby come out, but there's no crowning, right? Like it's more like dad catching or whatever, you know, the baby being born this way. She wanted dad to catch the baby, so I was behind her shoulders, and she was screaming. She knew something wasn't right. She screamed about it and said, like, you know, this hurts. Like, this is not right. I birthed 3 babies unmedicated. Something's wrong. I'm telling you now, something is wrong. She, like, reaches up to my, I'm like this. She, like, reaches up to my wrists and is like, no matter what happens here, like, I need you to continue to shoot. Like, I want you to follow me, because if I don't make it, like, my other kids need to know why. Like, and I couldn't look at I left there after everything was said and done. Spoiler alert, they make it. They all make it. But I left there, and I couldn't look at those pictures for like a month and a half. I could not even look at those pictures. And I'm still friends with her, and gosh bless that whole family. But yeah, like those, I run into moments with people that I don't think I'm ever gonna run into. And I always say, like, I must have had like past lives with these people. Like, I must have had some kind of soul tie, some kind of connection, some kind of reason to be like in that space or in that energy with people, like, or to be, I guess, honored to share in that between life and death. And every birth really is between life and death, you know. And that whole space between, you know, the baby is in you and a part of you, and then the baby is born and a part of the world, like, just that whole presence is it's just, there's nothing like it. And I still, the first birth I ever did, like, I'm still super close to them. I did their birth, I did their wedding, I did their engagements.
What made you want to do birth? Like, did someone ask you, or were you just kind of like, because not a lot of people do birth, right?
I think I always say about myself and everything that I do, like, even my boudoirs, like, I feel like I always like to, like, push the ante, like, really to the, like, I like to push it, like, all the way to the line. And then my husband likes to say, like, you know, you kind of push it, like, one toe over the line, and then you reel it back in when it gets a little too much. And I think birth is like that. I think birth is like, how much do you want to show the world? But, like, this is women, like, this is us, you know, this is what we do. Like, we birth things, people, we birth humans, we create, right? Like, we're put on this earth to, I guess, like, in the spiritual realm, right? Like, we're given that task, like, by God or by an almighty universe, you know, to be able to populate, like, and women are given that, like, and I think that, like, again, I think Lusting for Light is just such a woman empowered business that, like, being in that space with people, like, is just, it's just jaw-dropping, like. And I think also too, like, as a mother myself, like, I didn't get to have births with my daughters. Like, I had to have C-sections. Well, that's stillbirths. I shouldn't say I didn't have births, but I didn't get to feel them, like, and there's power there. I think, you know, there's something about, like, watching a woman really labor, like, and then being in their space. I'm talking about, like, I've held legs, okay, I've had amniotic fluid splashed on my camera, like, I've been up close and personal with a lot of my clients, and it's like, I love it. Like, I love it so much.
You truly found your calling.
I just think that it's part of the whole, like, whether it be birth, whether it be a self-love session, whether it be a wedding, I think that there's just this beauty that people don't know. Like, and I think that's what's really crazy about photography is, like, it really is through my eyes. Like, it really is, like, you could say, I mean, I see all the memes all the time that say, you know, the camera took it, you know, like, no, like, there's just a certain way to, like, I get, it's not even romanticizing it, like, because it's real, like, it's real life. And but I feel like I see things, and I've always been like this. I've always been the kind of person that feels like a moment is over before it's over. Like, I see my daughters, and they're 4 and 8, and I look at them, and in my head, like, they're already like 18, you know,
Yeah,
like,
they have their period, everything.
or yes, everything is happening already.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember like having my baby daughters and looking at them and feeling like that those moments were fleeting, like they were done, like
It's already over.
Wow.
like it's already done, like I already missed like the newborn, and then every day that passed, it was like, oh my gosh, like now she's like 2 days old, now she's 3 days old, and it's like that you're never gonna get that time back. And you know, the girls, like when I lay with them and when I cuddle them and when I'm like reading to them or when I'm momming,
Yeah.
you know, like even Violet, like we talk about, that girl is crazy, okay?
You haven't
Insert,
had her.
I need to meet,
insert photo
I need
here.
to meet Miss Violet.
She is a crowd fave.
She is.
But even with her, like I watch her and I'm just like, at some point, I think I'm gonna miss this. Like at
Yeah.
some point, like her
It's
little
gonna go away.
sass, like someone somewhere, not me, will tell her you're too much, right? Or will tell her like, hey, dim it down a bit. Like you're a lot. Like, and I just feel like while they're young and while they're so like carefree and pure and untainted, like
Yeah.
no one can tell them nothing, right?
Exactly.
I just want to enjoy that. Like I want to enjoy it for what it is, and it's like that bleeds into family sessions. You know, when moms get so stressed out, like, oh my kid's not gonna stand still, my kid's not gonna smile, my kid's not gonna, like, just let them play.
Yeah.
Like you don't really want the photos
regular,
of
like,
them. You don't
just
want that.
cheesy,
You don't want the
yeah.
JCPenney.
That's so true.
You don't
I
want it.
like that because
You
it's
don't
like
want
on
it.
social media, you want everything to look so perfect.
No,
and like,
we don't.
And I love that your whole message, your whole brand, everything is so different. I honestly have never seen anything like it. I don't know if you
thank
have,
you.
but I
Thank you so
never
much.
seen anything like that.
Yeah, and I think for me, like that's so much of what makes me, like or just at the, you know, in the core of my like soul. Like I think that I just feel so heavy, like or I feel so much, like, and I feel like the moments are over before they even started.
Yeah.
Or even like this, like the podcast, like I'm all amping myself up all day, like, oh, I'm gonna be on a podcast, like, and now it's almost done, like,
Oh my gosh.
you know. And it's like, but even like in the minute
Enjoy the
things,
moment.
right? Enjoy the moment. And like I think it's so important to have like a photographer, like to have, like, I think that's what I want to give. Like I want to be able to like have this service for people as long as I can have it for. And I even tell my husband all the time, like, I don't know, am I gonna be like 50 years old doing this? Like, I don't know. Like, will I still have the energy? Like, will I still
Yeah.
care to like, or not that I'll always care, but I think it's just like these weddings and these births, like sometimes I'm up all night, you know, if the mom is laboring all night,
Wow.
so am I. The first birth that I did, gosh, I love them so much, but I brought lavender for her, and I mean, I held her leg, and I told dad like to ask to catch the baby, and those are all like moments in the photos. I mean, he came with the snacks, like, we were there all day and all night and to the next morning. And I just remember, like, now, that was my first one. I didn't want to miss anything. Obviously, I wouldn't be there that long this time. I tell people, like, let me know when you're at 6 centimeters.
Yeah.
But even that, like, I won't get that back. Like, that was my first and my, you know, my one shot to, like, prove that I was going to do this. I'm going to be in the realm of birth photography, and I did it, and I felt like I did it well, you know. And it's like, I think if there's any kind of gift that I have, like that I feel like I have, it's that. It's to be a part of the hard moments, or to be a part of the moments with people, and then give it back to them, like in, you know, a perfect little bow, and say like, this is your life. Like, this is your life, you know. And it's like, now to have the video on top of it, it like almost like fills in the moments that I don't get on still, right? Like the stills give you like click, 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 but the video fills in like all the empty space. And I don't know, it's just, I think it's magic. Like, I think there's something there.
Well, yeah, because I feel like all those things last forever.
They last forever.
They'll last them forever.
They
It's
last
better to
forever.
look back at that
Yes.
than just a regular.
Yes, and
Wow.
I feel like the messiness of it is
That's the best
like,
part.
why not get the Cheeto dust on your kids' fingers? Like, they're only gonna have that
so
Cheeto dust for
true.
so long. Like, or like, why not get like, you know, the hair that's like out of place, or the bang that your daughter cut, and you're so mad at her for cutting her bangs, but one
it's
day,
a story to tell.
yes, but
Yeah.
like one day, you know, she's gonna be insecure. Like one day she's gonna be like, Mom, I don't want to cut my hair, like, because so and so said like I need to have this kind of hair. Like, but when she's young and she just does it, and I know it's upsetting. I'm a mom, I get it. Like, I'd be frustrated if my kids cut my hair, but like, it's just part of life. Like, and I don't know. There's something beautiful there. I think that that has to be told. And I feel like that's what it is. Like, that's truly, then you asked me, part of the questions you asked me was like my style. How did I get into my style? Like, I think everything I just said, like, it shows. Like, I don't know that I have a
specific
niche, and I think that's why I can never have one, because I think in terms of, well, no, people say it's like, people say you should niche, like that's what people,
they come for the uniformity.
I think so, like,
and it's safe.
But I think the niche is like that you're unique with it, like, you know.
I think when you're booking a wedding photographer, people probably want to see that you've shot weddings on weddings on weddings on weddings on weddings on weddings, right? Like, but I think that what I offer is not so much, not that I offer, like, not that I don't have quantity, but it's like, I think that I give my 3,000% to every moment. Like, you're not like stock to me. Like, it's not like, oh, another wedding. Like, every wedding I get, I'm like, ooh, my new friends. Like, I get, and I tell them too, like, my wedding clients, like, I go on a Zoom call with them, and literally, like, I'm like, tell me everything about you. Now let me tell you about me, because we're about to have a group chat.
And like, we're about to capture the moment that's unique to them too.
And then, or just to know who they are, and to, like, so that when I'm at the wedding listening to the speeches, I'm like, oh yeah, they told me about this. Like, I feel like I'm connected to them versus just like, oh, I don't know
connected.
these people.
Even the birthing, holding the legs.
Yes,
like,
I sure do.
I feel like you can't even say like, hi, I'm Ashley, I'm a photographer. I'm lusting for light. It's
not
even like,
no,
because it's not even, it's more to it than just photography, I feel like.
Yeah, and
it's
also,
more connection.
Yeah, more connection. And also, like, as creatives, I feel like for you, you need that to create. I feel like that's something that fuels you. If you don't have that connection to the people you're working with, or like the story, or and you have this background on them, and you can empathize, or you can love what they love, or you can understand their story, and you're a part of it, it makes you feel like, well, now I can give them what they want. Like, I can just do it. I can create.
You know what it is? It's almost like I envision that, like, in the world of, like, what am I trying to say? Like a family tree. Like, if all the pieces of your family tree, like, had video, like, had movement, like, what would that look like?
Like,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
kind of. Like, if you looked at your family tree and you saw the way your grandma moved at 19.
That's so dope.
Wouldn't you cry? Like, wouldn't you drop to your knees and just sob? Like, and those are moments, I think, that, like, people don't realize are fleeting. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, you just never know, like, what you're gonna see, like, 25 years later, right? And it's like, I think that's what I try to give.
Yeah, because I feel like there's also that type of regret, like, oh, I never got that. I don't remember that. Like, oh, I wish I had a video, or I wish I had a photo.
Especially nowadays.
I know, especially nowadays, but even when we're young, you know, we have albums on albums of, like, oh, this is the first time I went to Disneyland, this is when I sat in the car, and this is when
and, like,
we went to
we
Hawaii.
have social media, but again, social media is all up, like, it's kind of fluff up, you know? It's not as raw.
The raw, I think, is what I live for. Like, I think, even, like, in editing, like, bodies, like, the boudoirs, that's a big thing. Like, I know that there are these big boudoir studios that offer retouching and offer X, Y, and Z, and I won't even do that. Like, I literally, like, will be like, listen, you got one body.
This is what you look
this body, like. I think I've said this to a few of my clients, like, that body, that like, tummy that you're stressed about is going to birth a human. Like, that body is going to sustain you and sustain the things that come out of your body.
How do they feel when you tell them that?
I just feel like, I don't know. I would hope they feel good, but I just feel like, maybe, in a sense, it could sound like fluff, right? Like, oh, she just wants me to book. But truly, like, I just want everyone to, like, it sounds corny, but, like, I just want people to, like, genuinely, like, love themselves.
Right.
Because I feel like when you genuinely love yourself, there's so much more love to give.
Absolutely.
Right? It's a moment.
Okay, another thing.
Yes.
Imagine if you didn't go through what you went through with your hair.
Yes, for sure.
And your family.
Oh, I was so vain. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I mean, okay, there's a few points to that, right? Like, I feel like, did my parents do a good job raising a confident girl? Like, yes, clearly, right? Am I doing a good job raising confident girls? Like, for my girls, like, yes, clearly. But I think that, like, being able to be vulnerable and asking people to be vulnerable with you, like, I think I have a different understanding of what that means. Like, it doesn't mean, like, oh, just sit here and cry with me. Like, it means, like, give me yourself. Like, give me you. Like, no matter what that looks like give that to me, because whatever that is that you're giving me, like, I can give it back to you beautiful. And maybe you don't see it. Like, maybe you haven't seen it yet, or maybe you look in the mirror and you don't know. Yeah. And then I give it back and they're like, oh my god, this is me every time. This is me. Like,
I felt when I got my photos.
Right. Yes, it was. Who is she?
I go, who's that in the green? Who's that?
No way.
Who's holding the leaf? That's
because I've gotten my photos taken before.
Right.
Realtor type photos, and it's like, oh yeah.
And I sit there,
like but I could literally say, looked at every photo and liked every single one.
And I literally sit there editing them with the same energy. Like, I sit there like, oh my god, like,
and
oh my god,
like,
oh my god.
You know what's wild?
Yes.
She sent them to me before she sent them to you.
Nice.
She's like, look at her.
I said, look at your friend.
Look at Serena. And I said, shut up.
She's the ultimate hype woman.
Yeah,
ultimate.
I am. Well, like my friends, there's a good amount of people like in my inbox or in my messenger, whatever, iMessage, that I literally do that too. Like, I will send my edits like, stop, like, this popped off, and I'll like send it, and people are like, I have like my friend base and my family base, like the people that like are in my immediate circle, like see all of that stuff like before. I like bleed excitement for you guys. Like, I like when my couples get married, or when my couples have babies, or when my immediate circle, like they like know, like they feel like, I have people all the time like, how's the little Chinese baby that, like, because they did a Chinese wedding. Christy,
she booked with me.
Oh yeah, see. And then she must have Shout out to CC2 Friends.
I did her. Oh my god, I felt so honored. I did her wedding.
You did.
And she's like, Ashley's my photographer. She did my birth. I said, period. That's my sister. And she's
like,
my house.
Yes. Okay, well they have a house, but I'm not. Joe, I'll
she ever wants to sell it.
Her man's is just the freaking best. She's so supported, and but yeah, they were my first birth that I ever did. Wow. So that's how everyone knows. And I say Chinese because they had a very Chinese wedding.
They did. They had the traditional wedding,
beautiful,
and the regular wedding. Yeah,
it was beautiful. It was long.
I'm gonna look
Christy
at your whole
and
profile.
Curtis. It was long. The longest wedding I ever worked, but it was so worth it.
It looked
and
beautiful.
It was so funny because they were the ones that had me go viral. Because I don't know if you saw it, but they had the papers, and it looked like film, and it was it kept scrolling.
Last year.
Their wedding was in October. Yes, stalk me. It went viral, and they were like just the best people to like have gone viral with.
Yeah, it's like a photo installation.
That felt like a very full circle moment for me, because gosh, they're people that just, they booked me when I was newer. Actually, no, I met her the day before I cut my hair. Crazy. Because they stayed with me. Yeah.
Right.
And they booked me for their maternity session, and I just didn't think anything of it. Like, I just was like, whatever, like, you know, I was honestly focused on my hair. Like, I was cutting it the next day. Like, I just wasn't really, not that, I mean, obviously I give my all to every client, but I didn't think it was gonna turn into this huge. But man, there are ones that are still in my. We got a group chat going. It's still going. And sometimes they hit me up after I haven't responded for a while. Like, I guess Ashley's spreading her wings or something. You know, I guess she's out. They call me Cashly with a C, because their baby's name is Caleb. And when I was there at the birth, like everyone was a C, and so they're like, yeah, that's Cashly. That's Cashly Dow. She's a part of our family. And they feed me, and they love on me, and they so it's like
amazing.
I also went to Catalina with them.
Yeah.
So I travel, just for everyone. I travel, and I went to Catalina with them, and we did the engagement shoot, and we also went to Chinatown. Yeah, so that was so fun. Because the love for travel, right? So incorporated that, but then also just like we were in Chinatown. Unapologetically, like just they were like we have photos of them like in front of a club.
They're dancing.
That's cute.
They're under the red lanterns.
Oh my god!
And then like the next day we go to like a Chinese restaurant where there's like duck on the table just like the little spinning, you know, at the dim sum, the spinning, and
the lazy
it
Susan.
just it was so good. Like, but I like love clients like that, you know, because that's the whole point. Like, you grow with them.
You want to keep going too.
Yes. Oh my gosh! At their wedding, sobbing. Like their whole vow exchange. So she walked down the aisle by herself. Okay, she walked herself down, and the aisle was facing each other. Like not like so
not
they
like
weren't
one.
No, so the aisle faced her. like this
So
side.
it went like this.
Yes.
Like an arrow.
Yep. So everyone was facing each other, and she came down the middle, and it was the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Yep. And it was such a statement because she walked herself, and it just was like the prettiest thing I've ever seen. But yeah, like you walk through people's moments like that, you know, and you sit there and you listen to their vows, and you're a wreck, and you know, you continue. And they're so funny. They were like, okay, so like you're our photographer, but also like you're our guest, so we want you to turn up with us at the end. And I was like, listen, I don't turn up, not when I'm working, because I age and glow real bad. And they're like,
these pictures about the
yes. And they said, we want them drunk.
Oh,
like we want
the
Cashley down, like we want
How
you
fun.
crazy. And me and Lonnie, my second photographer, obviously she's with me everywhere I go, I looked at her, was like, okay,
I guess.
okay, we're doing it.
Bottoms
We're
up.
bottoms up. And it was like, they gave me my own bottle of Hennessy Visa.
Oh,
And I don't even drink. When I tell you I don't even drink, okay? So then here we are.
She don't drink.
We're
I don't even drink.
I don't even drink. I don't even drink. I don't drink like that. I don't like it. But I was.
Me neither.
There
We're
I
the
was.
same.
Yes, but there I was. And we were, like 4 shots deep, running around the reception, doing what I said, hey, this is what the job costs for. This is what we do. And so, like, there's pictures of, like, shoes. There's pictures of, like, the ceiling. There's pictures of, like, people's blurry faces, you know. But it's a vibe, you know. It's a vibe. And they're probably one of the only couples. But like I said, like you live through your moments with people, and you give your all to them, and then in return, like that's what you get. You know, you get the fun, and it's just it's been amazing. But yeah. We spun out and talked about the Dows, but
I know we love you.
They're
guys.
big. They're big in the world of lusting for light.
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like.
I think they started.
They started a
one
lot
of the ones
stuff.
that helped start your journey for sure.
I love that. I have more than enough like love to go around, but like I have a significant, like my husband asks me sometimes like do you have like clients that like stand out to you? And I tell him all the time like I will always have like extra love to like for my firsts, like my first wedding.
Absolutely.
My first wedding, man, like Jessica and Luis, that's their names, they told me like, look, like it's either you or like we're just gonna do iPhones. Because honestly, like with the budget, like you know,
they can
like
only get what they get.
and I told them, I said, go around and ask how much you can get it for, and then report back to me. And they came back to me, and they're like, this person says this person says that. I was like, okay, I'll do it for $1,000. And they're like, okay, bet. And that in the world of weddings, $1,000 is nothing.
Oh
We're working all day.
That's barely the napkins.
That's in the world of, but I just was like, okay, here I come, you know. And I did it, and I just sometimes I think back at those clients, and I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? What were you thinking? Trusting me? Like I had one camera body, right? I had like maybe 2-3 lenses. Like that's cool. I was one person. Like I just, how did you trust someone that had nothing to show?
Yeah.
But I just have extra like love for those people because like it just was
took a
faith.
chance,
It
yeah.
just was faith, I guess, you know. And it's like. Yeah.
And
So
the rest is history.
the rest is history.
But it's not done yet.
It's not done.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
What
I
is
don't
it?
know.
So now you're getting into video.
Yes, no, that's my new
That's a new
venture.
endeavor.
That's my new hope. We'll see. We'll have to do
Look
a.
out for that.
And I think what kickstarted the videography was our AAPI month video.
That was the first one where I was like, oh, I can do this.
So let me just paint the picture for you guys. So in May of last year, it was me, my friend Kristen, she was on the show, and our
Who's
friend,
also my bride.
who's also
She's
she's
my bride. I do love her.
I refer all these people to you.
Yes, okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
anyway, and then our friend Dee, and basically the whole premise was just we're all Filipino, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just wanted to move organically in like the forest, and this song kind of called for
The water. Yeah.
the organic movement, and the greenery.
I don't even think we knew that
and
there was
the
going to be water
nature.
there.
We found
the water. Yes.
We found a creek in a random park because Ashley, sorry, my Filipino's coming out. She found this park, and I think she shot there before. And we kind of walked.
I didn't even shoot there before.
You
I
shot
just
there
was. I was called.
Oh
Kelly.
yeah, she was driving around. And she was driving around like freaking Roseville. And she's like, I found it. Let's do this. And I was like, okay. And we walked maybe a couple hundred more feet, like down like towards a tree line, if you can imagine. And then we walked down this little hill, and we're like, bro, there's water down here.
And we put the whole backdrop in the water. We dug it into the rocks.
Oh
we did.
And like we went one by one. Kristen started moving organically. Then Dee went, and then I went, and we just kept the song playing in the background.
And I really don't even know who I am because these are dancers, right? And I'm over here like, okay, I need you to do like a calypso. Like I need you to do like.
Yeah, I need you to.
And they knew what to do, right?
And they did, right? And I was like, I need you.
They gave you what you needed.
And I think there's a clip of me actually directing Dee.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what the heck. I'm like, okay, like, could we do, like, maybe turn around and then flick the water at me?
Yeah,
and the water. I said, and then, like, bring it up, and then, like, I don't even know.
And you were like, I want you to flex and then let it go.
Yeah.
And he was like this.
Period.
And then, so what I'm doing right now, I'm just flexing my muscles and letting it go like a dancer would. So, in a sense, that whole day was kind of magical because like it was a cold day. We thought it was gonna rain.
Yeah, we
but
did.
Then it turned sunny. Like it would go through the sun came through.
There was flickers. There was flickers.
The sun came through the clouds, through the trees, and there was like a light breeze. And like with the fabric that we had and the backdrop, everything was just flowing with the wind. And I felt like Pocahontas.
It really was so pretty.
It was so beautiful, and I think it was my favorite shoot. Period. Like not even just a dance video, or not even just a photography or a video shoot. I just felt like so connected to nature
and to like our roots,
and
right?
I felt so connected to like each other. And
there was almost like this like without it being a moment, there was almost like this pandango sa ilaw moment.
Yeah,
like,
with the if you guys don't know what that is, it's like a traditional Filipino dance with
the light. I wish we had candles.
I wish we had candles
because I feel like it would have been it would have set it off. Like it was just so pretty, but like, and I don't even know what we saw. I think you just were there, and I was like, wait. And that's how, if you've ever shot with me,
she would say,
stop, hold it, just stop. 2 steps backwards, do it again.
Stop there, do it again.
Slower.
Redo it. Yeah, I remember during that shoot, she had us walk in a line slowly in these rocks, and them rocks. Sorry, my language. Them rocks were so it was so uncomfortable. We put our Chanels on, but you can't really see the water.
And it was cold.
And it was so cold.
Yes.
But we were in our jeans. We didn't care if it got wet. Like we were walking really slow into the water.
Gosh, it was so pretty. It was so pretty.
It was so dope, and like for us to not only get really beautiful shots with like stills photography, like we were in the trees, we had the fabric moving.
It felt really good.
It felt good on the body for sure.
It felt really good, and then not only that, she captured some of that on video.
Yes.
And so it was just really I don't know.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I can't even describe it.
It was.
You had to be there.
It was crazy. It was definitely a visual concept.
Very good.
I don't know. Sometimes I literally don't know where, how, when, how, like what, like I don't know.
Because I know
it's like a gust of wind, just
like an idea. Because I
Mm-hmm.
remember when we were talking about it. Because I know you do photography, but I'm just like, Ate, can you like film certain shots? And you're like, yeah, I haven't done it before, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so she had 2 cameras. She had her camera that shot the video, and she had the camera that shot the photography, and we just did it, and we got pho after. And it was so good. It was amazing. It was an amazing day.
Go check that out. We'll link it.
Yeah, we'll link it.
Oh my god, we've like said we're linking 100 things.
That's fine.
We'll probably only link half of them.
But I am gonna insert certain clips of like certain things for sure.
You have them.
I think I have them, and they're visual aid to what's really going on here.
Can I just say this whole conversation has really, maybe not opened my eyes, but has reminded me that there's so much beauty and vulnerability. And I really appreciate how the 3 of us really do captivate that and do put that out there, because you've shown your vulnerable side. You definitely did. I do too. And we do it in a way that's still, like, we all have businesses, right? And a lot of the times when people have businesses, it's like, I want to show my best self and look the best and all that stuff. But I really appreciate how all of us kind of relate in a way that we show our authentic selves. And we've had an episode about authenticity in business, and I love that so much. Because, again, like we said, people work with you because of you. And that's who I would want to work with, someone that I can relate to and all that. So I love that for us.
I love that for us.
And it makes me think, like, when times get, because, you know, business is hard. And we could talk about that, but business is hard. And you're going to go through tough shit. But look at all the tough shit has done for us.
You know what I will say? My husband did ask me, he was like, how do you stay, like, inspired? How do you stay, like, motivated? How do you stay? And literally I told him, I was like, I need to sleep. Like, and that could be a takeaway too. Like, as much as we're trying to run and like create something and make something and do something and blah 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 blah, like we need to like rest. Like, that's so big. Like, how can you be your best self? How can you show up for yourself? How can you show up for anybody if you don't like
Chill,
rest, right? I feel like that's a big thing. Also, another thing is my mother-in-law had told me, like, originally, like, when I was getting ready to leave Kaiser, like, she told me, like, and I told her, like, you know, like, I do like what I do. I did like what I did. Healthcare, you know, how can you know, just another Filipino in healthcare, but, like, how could you not like it? You know, like, you're helping people, and it's, you know, and I told her kind of, like, a lot of what I do with us, and kind of, like, I had a deep conversation the way I am with you guys, and she said, you know, like, what you're doing is, like, a different kind of healthcare.
Exactly.
It really is.
And when she said that, I was like,
you're in a birthing room.
Yeah, and she is a mental health. Like, her background is mental health.
Nice.
She has a master's in counseling, and so, like, that's her realm.
Mm-hmm.
And so for her to say, you know, Mila's mom, for her to say, like Mija, like, that's another kind of healthcare. And I'm just like, oh, that's a good point.
In a sense, we're all providing a service, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're making a drink at Starbucks, whether you're selling a home, you're taking photos for people. I'm in the beauty industry, right? In a way, all of this is care. Like, not only, of course, the healthcare, right? They help provide aid to those who have problems within their health, like help solve problems and even try to prevent things from happening, right? Provide services for people who have, like, underlying health conditions, all that stuff. But, like, it's all care, right? Like, I care about people when it comes to, like, helping them with their self-care, like, helping them feel confident in themselves, and, like, getting in touch with, like, their beauty. You help with capturing their moments. You care, and you, like, help them realize these moments are forever, and you should capture them. And then you help them find their home. And like, in a sense, like, we're all, it's a different base in the game, you know?
To add to that, the plus of it all is what we give with that.
Yeah.
Not just like, here's the drink, here's the house.
Not just the product, right? But like the process in itself.
We get to know them.
Yes.
I feel like we all do that.
Yes, being in the group chats.
I don't need to just know, like, when I do, like, get new clients, right? I let them fill out a form. Yeah. And I say, and I get to do a Zoom too, but before I did the Zoom, I do a form, and I ask them not just how many bedrooms and baths they want. What's your hobbies? What's your lifestyle? What's your... Cause and then, that helps you find the vision of where they want to be.
And then also, like, to have the ability to then take what we have, or take the skill that you have, or the love you have for the stuff that you do, and then pour it into somebody else, right? That's going through the same thing. Like, even for me, I travel a lot, right? Which I said, I don't book my photos here. Like, I always will book when I travel, so that I can support, right? Because wherever I travel, I feel like I always book, right? Like, if I'm in Hawaii, like, I book, and I'm taking from their economy is what I feel like. Well, I'm gonna go right back and say, I'm booking you, you know, and then support. Like, Mexico City, we also did the same thing. Oh, and then you met Ale. Mexico City, I had a wedding with her, and that was just beautiful. And talk about making connections. I mean, I hired her as a photographer, and I shot a wedding. I, like, came back to shoot a wedding with her. She hired me right away. And then and I'm talking about, this is like a stranger I met in Mexico City. And then recently, for a wedding that also Callie was at, she Rabina and Javon, they flew her out. Flew her out, and they gave her a job out here. And it's like, I wouldn't have gone, like, what? Right. You know,
just
like,
sit back and really, like, take it in.
Yeah, and, like, to think, like, I made a friend in, like, Mexico City, like, and now, like, what you doing in Mexico City? What am I doing in someone's casita? Like, here I am, like, you know, I got the cute little, like, the home helper, Lupita was all cooking me breakfast and stuff, literally. You know, and Martin was, like, driving me places, you know, and I'm just like, what? Like, how did I get here?
What is life?
That's the beauty of, like, networking, right? That's the beauty of sharing your love with another person. Even, like, it translates. Like, even though the English and the Spanish, like, no, like, the love for the art, like, that translates. Like, and people, like, they want to be around that. They want to fuel that. And it's like, I just think that's I think that's what ends up, you know, that's why we're all sitting here. It's because you love your stuff so much, and I do too, and I fueled you, and then you and I fueled together, and then all of a sudden you gave, like, a giveaway to her. Yes. Got her eyelashes and pictures done for free because of this love, right? And then now like, what is this?
In a podcast.
It's for crazy. My future self.
Yes.
Well, and who knows where this is gonna go?
I feel like that's what we should end it on. I feel like we should end it on, like, okay, in a year. What will happen in it? Where will we be in a year?
This is where we do in a segment for all of our guests.
Okay.
I want you to talk to your your younger self first, and then I want you to talk to your future self.
Oh, I hate that. I'm, like, all in my feelings.
It's okay, the last guest cried too.
Oh, stop. Okay.
Don't worry, I cried as well.
So my younger self? Okay,
so... talk to her in the camera.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm like,
love
okay,
it, we love it.
I feel like there's so many little Ashleys I could talk to. Like, which one do
Oh,
I
there's so many
choose?
versions.
I like there's like the 7-year-old, the 14-year-old, like
the one that you really want to speak to.
I feel like Ashley, well, little Ashley. It's gonna. I'm gonna cry.
This is part of it.
It's gonna get better, and people are gonna love you for you, and there's a place for you in this world. Even though you feel like very misunderstood, there's a place for you, and there's something that you have to give to people, and it's gonna be received well. And art makes money, okay, honey? Art makes money.
That's right, Mom.
Don't let them say it to you, because art makes money.
And that's to all the little girls out there.
Yes,
too,
that's
not
to all the
just
little
you.
girls. Ooh, that got me.
I love that so much.
Ooh. Okay, anyways, future Ashley.
Future
Girl.
Ashley, how many years?
Girl,
I don't
she's
know.
gonna watch
Girl.
this. She's gonna watch this.
Okay.
She's gonna watch this.
Okay, how old is future Ashley?
However old you want.
Whoever you want to talk to.
How old is your guys' future selves?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just
We didn't
talked. I
really-
talked to her.
I know.
didn't really age on it.
Okay, well, I hope that you are still making it work for yourself. I don't really know. I feel like I live so day to day.
It is hard to do.
Okay, let me think. Okay, future Ashley, I hope that you have a beautiful relationship with your daughters. And I think that the only way that I could have a beautiful relationship with my daughters, right, is if I live now authentically and truly and show my daughters that it's okay to live authentically and truly, right? And I hope that you are still thriving and still happy with whatever road you decided to take. And gosh, this one is harder.
It's hard.
I mean, I feel like little Ashley is like, man, she's like
It's so
sad all
easy
the
to
time.
just tell them what,
she needs a hug all the time.
Yeah.
But like future Ashley, I feel like she's like untouched.
That's how
She's like up here. Like I feel like you. I can't wait to meet you. What about that? I can't wait to meet you.
That's the first one.
I cannot wait to meet you. That's what I'll end it on.
Okay. I love
We should
that.
That was beautiful. This is my
Yay.
favorite episode.
It's my
and
can
like
we-
we say that like every episode, but this is really
This is my
good.
favorite. This is my favorite.
Can Venice do a cameo? Can we do
Oh,
that?
let's have her in
She's
She'll
on
be on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yay! This is my
Say
oldest
hi.
baby. Her name is Venice. And today she told everyone that her mom is famous.
Period. She is.
Because she's on Spotify, which means that she manifested that this podcast is gonna go places and go places fast.
Yay.
And
Thanks, Venice.
yeah, do you know where to look? Do you even know where to look? You look
It's
in the
right there.
camera.
Oh, on the camera.
Say hi, everyone.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
My name is Venice.
Aw.
There we go.
Period.
Okay, period.
Yay.
Yay.
Go Venice. Go Venice. Oh, what's your favorite thing to do? What are your hobbies? You can tell them if you want to.
I really like doing cheerleading.
Ooh.
She's a cheerleader.
Okay.
And what else do you like?
Um,
What about how you make videos?
I
Oh,
make
yeah.
videos on my computer like all the time. They're very fun.
And your phone, you have
Very
CapCut.
funny. Oh yeah, I also make videos on my phone too. And I also like playing with my friends. I love my family, especially my mom.
And you like sushi.
Oh, girl, we can have it.
And you like
we can
Popo
hang out.
Purin.
Yeah, I love Sanrio, and I'm happy to be here today.
Oh!
Thank you for sharing.
Your future self is gonna see this. when
Yes,
you're
your
older,
future
too.
self.
I know, we're
She's
gonna watch it
you.
together.
Hi.
Okay. Okay.
So sweet.
Get out of here, girly.
Thank you, girl.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay! Thank you for being
Aw,
here.
Thank you.
first
No, honestly,
girl.
I loved this.
This is like therapeutic.
It really was.
This is
And
therapeutic.
I want to say when you were speaking, it was just so easy to listen.
Mhm.
Just because not only is your story so unique, like even like what
Mhm.
you went through, a lot of people have different like journeys with alopecia,
Right.
but not only like the alopecia itself, but like what happened after. You
Yeah.
know? What happened after? It's
So
like very
inspirational.
inspirational, and just the way you see others, it really
Mhm.
puts things in perspective for me. Like in beauty, right?
Mhm.
A lot of it is very like vanity,
Yeah.
like what you see on the surface level.
Mhm.
But it's like very edited, and you want it to look pretty, and like you're trying to get these people's like
I mean,
eyes.
don't get me wrong, because like when I first cut my hair, like Venice, like she cried. Like she looked at me and she didn't know who I was. Like I I remember like my husband like met me at the store because I was with my sister, and I like checked out, and my husband saw me and was just like, oh, like okay, like you know, this will do, you know, and Venice like kind of walked past me, and then she like backtracked, like, oh, that's my mom, and then she like cried.
Aww.
You know, and it's like there are for sure like heartbreaking moments. There were a lot of them, you know, but I don't know, dude. For some, by the grace of God, by the grace of all things good, I am still on this earth and I'm still creating. So, and I'm happy to share that with you guys, and I'm happy that you invited me here today.
Of course,
my first podcast.
Anytime.
We need to do this in a year, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes,
Or
this will be our anniversary. Like we need to do an anniversary show.
We'll do an annual one,
especially because it is full circle, like Serena said.
It's completely.
This is really special.
Yes, this is
and
definitely
like I
special.
feel like also too like. You're gonna shoot again. You're gonna shoot again. Like this is gonna happen again.
It's
for
gonna
sure.
happen again, and then we'll
For
have
sure.
new experiences to talk about.
Yes. Okay.
We will title this episode Rebirth.
Yes.
Rebirth
I love
perfection.
that.
It's perfect.
Okay.
Yay! Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys
Thank you.
watching, listening, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
YouTube, Instagram.
follow.
Blessing for life.
Blessing for life.
Get your
Book
photos
her.
taken for sure. Like
Book
really,
me
for real,
today.
for real.
Yesterday. Book me yesterday.
Me yesterday.
Book her yesterday.
You should have booked her even before you heard this podcast.
Are you getting engaged? Book me for the
Are you
proposal.
giving birth?
Are you giving birth? Right.
Do you
What
need
are
to
we doing?
cry?
You have a bar mitzvah? Like what do we
Are
got?
you writing a book? What's happening?
Let's do
She's
it.
got it all.
We're
She's
doing
got
it.
it all.
We're doing it.
Thank you for coming.
Of
Thank you
course.
for coming.
I love you guys.
We love you.
Yes.
We love you. We love you.
Yes.
We hope you guys liked this episode. I know I did.
Loved it.
But yeah, more to come for sure. I think when we have meaningful conversations like this
This is
with
what
real
This is
people.
what we really feel like this is literally
this
a
is-
dream. I love this.
Yeah, me and Serena have never felt like we were ever going to be in a position like this, but for us to have a platform to tell other stories, and not only to tell it but actually learn from it ourselves,
Yeah.
it's just another experience within itself. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Tell your friends to watch.
Bye.
Bye.